Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your Midday News Fix for Wednesday, the 11th of December. BNZ says a pullback from petrol stations is not about judging ethics, but economics. Federated Farmers says one customer received a letter from BNZ telling them they won't lend to petrol stations and all debts must be repaid by 2030. BNZ CEO Dan Huggins has told the Banking Inquiry this is purely an investment decision as more vehicles electrify.
That particular business over the next 10 years or so out to sort of 2030, our view is that the risk profile is heightened and therefore from a bank perspective, we've made that credit decision.
A community service provider is taking Oranga Tamariki to court claiming a breach of its $21 million a year contract. Stand to Maya Trust says its contract has been cut short, ending in early January due to Children's Ministry budget constraints. It had been signed up until July 2026. Chief Executive Fiona Inkpen is concerned about the impact.
We're engaged with over 1,000 families who have between them 4,000 children. All of those families have significant challenges every single day of their lives.
A terrorism expert says a realistic possibility of an attack probably remains for the foreseeable future. The Security Intelligence Service is holding the national threat level at low. It says exposure to online extremism and rising global instability increases the risk of radicalisation. Massey University Professor John Battersby says we mustn't be complacent or worse after so much recent exposure to threat.
We're a long way from ever going back below low, and I think it would probably be pretty risky for any intelligence agency to go and suggest that there is no possibility of terrorism.
A second man's appearing in court today, charged with murdering Robert Albert, found dead in a building in a Levin Park in October. The 40-year-old also faces a charge of unlawful possession of a pistol. Syria's borders are being kept busy with arrivals and departures. After the fall of President Bashar al-Assad, many Syrians who fled the war are trying to return home. At the same time, many aligned with the former president are fleeing the country, fearing sectarian revenge violence. The BBC's Anita McVeigh says the EU's foreign policy chief is warning about the risk of ethnic conflict.
She urged international powers to help a peaceful transition, saying we must avoid a repeat of the horrific scenarios in Iraq, Libya and Afghanistan.
Systems are back up and running at Auckland Airport's international terminal. An external network outage impacted check-in systems this morning, forcing airlines to process people manually. Passengers told our newsroom it's caused big delays. Domestic flights are not impacted. Herald travel reporter Sarah Pollock is there.
There are a few flustered travellers and a few unhappy families, but most people are really calm. There's really a sense of quiet and people just getting on with it.
To sport, the football Ferns will face Costa Rica in 2 football friendlies in February. And Aston Villa have claimed their 4th win of the European Champions League season, seeing off RB Leipzig 3-2 away. Ross Barkley scored the winner for Villa in the 85th minute to move to provisional 3rd on the ladder. That's through 6 games. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.